and welcome to Focus. I'm your host, Mark Warnock, and we're here today with Susan Regan, the president of the Foxfield Recovery Mission out in Granby, Connecticut. Thanks for coming on the show, Susan. Appreciate it.
Great to be here. It's wonderful to have the opportunity to talk about our foundation, which I think should have a very widespread reach to a lot of people out there in the demographics of Connecticut. So I'm happy to respond in any information I can provide.
Well, first off, why don't you tell me a little bit about Foxfield and what it's all about?
Yes, my husband and I have, we both grew up in West Hartford. We have 3 grown sons. We have lived in Farmington. We've lived in Simsbury. My background is in the corporate world. I worked for Diageo for many years, but my avocation has always been horses. And my husband and I have fox hunted. We actually raised our own pack of foxhounds. We have played polo for many years. And in our program, we actually use polo horses because we find their temperament to be best suited for our purposes. But we started this in 2016. It is a 501c3. And we did it in memory of my father, who actually was served under General MacArthur in World War II. And he was an amazing man. He actually signed up twice to be in the military, and he was in the war 10,000 miles away from home. That's where he met my mother, the Australian lady. And also we have one of our sons who served in the past few years, 5 years in the Navy as an air traffic controller. And so in their memory, we established this, and this is for veterans and first responders who suffer from PTSD. It is a program that we are very proud of. We have had a great deal of success. And the interesting part about this is we have attempted through Senator Kissel, who has been very kind. He is from the 62nd District, and we hope he wins another round in the upcoming municipal elections. And Senator John Kissel. And this is a bill. The most recent one was I presented in February of 2020. The COVID-19, of course, impacted this, but I presented it both to the VA committee and the Real Estate Insurance Committee to have this type of program and this type of therapy to be included under the Veterans Health Care. It seemed as though we had done it for 3 years. This was our 3rd year, and it seemed as though this had a very positive response. However, the legislature had to close its doors because of COVID-19, and so therefore we have been unable to complete the vote on that, and we're hoping to reinstitute it again in 2021. The important thing about this is I provided a prospectus, which would give a ceiling cap on the amount it would cost to do a test for this program. And that I think is what kind of sealed the deal, because when you open their checkbook, and of course our state is in rather disrepair when it comes to the budget. So we're hoping that that will come through, and that our veterans and our first responders, particularly during this time, will be able to resolve some of their concerns, their mental issues. We are closing down for the winter because of COVID-19 and flu. Certainly always it gets slower in the winter because ours is an outdoor program. And I'd like to have my husband explain how we work with the horses and what they provide during the program. And I'll let him take over from here.
That'll be excellent. Thank you. And now we're here with Bill Regan, the Vice President of Foxfield Recovery Mission. Bill, tell me a little bit about how you guys have stayed in touch with all your clients that you usually would have using your service, but they're not around because of the COVID and everything.
Well, we started with, the state of Connecticut has a program every year called Stand Down Day. And we've attended that for 3 years in a row. It's where service providers, about 200 service providers are there in one place for veterans to come. There are about 1,000 veterans that attend, to find different services that are available to them. They have legal services, they have therapies, they have medical services, they have a dentist there. And so all sorts of vendors that are there to provide the services. And that's where we started with getting some of our clients. The word of mouth, what we're finding, is really the best way for these folks to get a hold of us. Veterans are sort of, they are a very tight-knit group. They're conscious to some extent about their service, about their various conditions. And so it takes some drawing out of them, their personalities, to be able to get them here. We find that once we get them to the farm, we have them hooked, because it gets them outside, it gets them away from the sort of the daily goings on. And horses are extremely relaxing. You wouldn't think that an animal, a 1,000-pound animal, can offer a sense of quietness and calm, but they're herd animals, number one. They're social animals. Their heart rate is about half of ours. So when you get involved with them personally and up close, everything sort of slows down. And so what our program does is it teaches the veteran or the first responder how to work with them on a daily basis. It's more of a training program. We teach them in a 6-week program. We teach them as much as we can about being with the horses, grooming them, how they think, how they react to people, because you have to develop a bond with a horse. If you want a 1,000-pound horse to go from here to there and she doesn't want to go, she's not going. She has to make sure that you're not going to eat her, that you're a friend of hers, that she has confidence in you, that you're not going to put her in harm's way. And so once you develop that relationship, it teaches our clients that they can take those same skills and use them on people. It's a matter of developing trust. It's a matter of developing relationship. And so throughout our program, we teach them all the basic skills. They could go out and get a job working in a barn. They could go work at a therapeutic riding facility. We teach them about the grooming. We have a veterinarian come in, one of the programs, to go through some basic veterinarian things. We have a farrier come and visit, or we go to where the farrier is to show them about shoeing and how important the hoof care is. We would teach about stall maintenance. We teach about feeding. So they get the whole picture of exactly what the horses are about. If you look at the picture that's behind me, the caption is social what, with a question mark, because this is what they're like. They're very social. They interact well with people. You get instant response from them when you're with them. And they bring peace. I guess that's the way there's nothing like sitting out in the barn at night after you've given their final feeding, turning off the lights and just listening to them sort of munch on their hay, giving them, sort of the relaxing sigh. It sort of takes the edge off the day, and it beats a beer, I got to tell you.
So tell me a little bit about how, like, the situation that we're all in with the COVID and everything has affected your volunteer group, the people that would usually volunteer with you guys. How has that have been affected?
Well, we had to everything was closed down, obviously, in March. We had to self-certify with the state Department of Community and Economic Development, as well as Department of Agriculture, to have a series of protocols as to what we need to do to be able to open up. The sanitizing of the equipment, because we're outside, the masking when they first come in, we first said, but once we're outside, we can social distance enough. The horses don't mind the mask. They don't look at you as if you're funny. So they have no opinion about that. But it has an effect on us because we do have one volunteer who comes a couple of days a week, who's been very reliable, very helpful. She enjoys coming to the barn. She cleans stalls and interacts with the horses. But the whole thing, because of the COVID and the veterans, a lot of times they have their own medical issues. We didn't want to jeopardize any situation. So that's why we said, we'll concentrate on taking care of our horses, because they are really the therapists. We have retired horses. We have one that's the horse is a rehabilitation horse. She's on rehab. She was donated by Yale. And so we're working on the rehabilitation of her to get her into the program. And hopefully we can find a rehoming. And if not, they work well for the program. But that's why the donations to the foundation are very important, because, when the feed man comes and hay man comes, the horses want to eat. And so it is an ongoing expense. We've been self-funding for a while. We've had some pretty nice donations from people, but just the ongoing expenses of having them. And it's a 24/7 routine that we have to go through, and they need the care. They need veterinary care. They need the feed. Need the feed taken care of. Just the general maintenance of the horses, which is different than a lot of other nonprofits that they can, if they're not doing anything, they have no expenses. Well,
Yeah.
they can turn their computers off and turn their lights out, but we can't. This is wintertime and summertime, and there's the same routine on a daily basis. So we need that support in order to keep the program running. That's really the important thing.
So if someone did want to donate to you guys or was looking for more information about your organization, how would they go about getting that?
Well, we have our website is foxfieldrecoverymission.org. They have a place there you can donate through PayPal. We are on Amazon Smile. We also are involved with a vehicle donation program. So if somebody has an old wrecked vehicle they want to donate, they can do that. Our mailing address is there if they want to send a check directly, because everybody else sort of takes a little piece of the donation. And, this way, if we get the check directly, the donation goes directly to the foundation. They receive a letter with a little bit of a story about what's going on in the farm. But they receive a letter for their donation amount. So that's what we're looking for is, the community support is what helps us help the veteran or the first responder.
That is awesome. We always like to end each segment just asking our guests, during this whole difficult time, what is the one thing you guys are most thankful for?
The frontline people, I guess. They're the people that they're really sort of been a backstop to this. We've extended our offer to some of the frontline workers if they want to come out and you take an hour session with the horses, to have them sort of have a little relief. Again, it's a matter of getting away from the daily routine, getting outside, getting some fresh air, being with an animal that has no judgment, that really likes people, and it's a different experience than having a dog or having a cat or having horses are special, and that's why you see so many people involved with them, because they're a special animal. They have tremendous self-healing capabilities, and they teach us a lot about ourselves. This whole COVID thing has been a real mess. It has, it's been terrible for everybody. I'm sure your studio's been closed. A lot of your producers can't do a lot of production work. So it's a wide-ranging effect a lot of people don't think about. That it sort of trickles down to everybody that's involved.
Well, I appreciate you giving me the time. I know you guys are busy. You guys got a lot of stuff going on. You guys are always got interviews and all these different things going on. So I appreciate it. And thanks for coming by.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. We really appreciate it. Take care.
All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Focus.